The Mayor of Auckland has announced $60,000 funding for a youth crime prevention community organisation, Turn Your Life Around Youth Development Trust, or TYLA. The council's community impact unit has also contributed $40,000 to make up a $100,000 grant for the organisation to ensure continuity of its service. Now, the organisation produces some serious results and has decreased reoffending rates by 75%. So joining me now is Jolene Cartwright. She is the co-general manager of Turn Your Life Around, or TYLA. Jolene, good afternoon.
Hi, welcome. Kia ora, thank you.
Welcome to you. Firstly, congrats on the funding. I'm sure it will sorely be needed. Firstly, Can you tell us what your organisation does? How does it work?
Yes, so like you said, it's TYLA for short, but it's Turn Your Life Around Youth Development Trust, and we've been operating for nearly 30 years in the Auckland area, and it predominantly was based around an early intervention concept, and we've moved a little bit from that as well into the prevention and intervention space, working with youth offenders. But our primary goal has always been around prevention, and so we can get tamariki and rangatahi from the ages of about 9 years of age through to 17, 18 years of age. And basically, they're referred to us because of their risk factors and their lack of protective factors. And so they're either at risk of offending or they have already offended. And our program works from a social work lens, and it's quite bespoke. So it looks at what their needs are and what we think we could do to help them and their whānau work towards a sort of a wraparound service where they can kind of get the support they need to see that there's a different pathway to offending, and that their risk factors can actually be enhanced through putting in place some protective factors, basically.
Well, the Mayor said that it's, it makes sense to invest early in crime prevention, and he's impressed by your work. And you have supported more than 1,000 kids and young people, which is pretty phenomenal. In your experience, though, Jolene, with what you were seeing with young people, do you think it's getting worse out there, and why, if it is, with young people committing crimes and such?
Yeah, look, I think I've been working with TYLA for 13 years, but I've been in this world of work for nearly 25 years as well myself, and I definitely think the level of neurodiverse deficits that we're sort of seeing in our young people is of concern, and I think the lack of enrolment in education has really heightened since COVID. And I think, it's especially across the country, everyone's feeling at the moment the levels of deprivation around poverty and just people struggling means that there is less connection with communities, which means that, it's pretty straightforward in terms of evidence around if our young people are feeling disconnected and don't have relationships with people, then they don't feel a part of their community, and so therefore they become sort of, they idle hands, they muck around and they get a thrill from doing something. They lose sight of where they want to go, and so it just snowballs. They steal a few things from a dairy, or they are with a couple of mates and they manage to break into a car, and then it just next minute it's something more or more cars, and so it kind of grows from there. But I definitely think there has been an increase, and certainly actually the Ministry of Justice just put out some stats just the other day around the fact that there is a higher number of persistent offenders, which is those that commit more crime, and we're definitely seeing that.
Wow, but you've got quite a good turnaround rate. You've decreased reoffending rates by 75%. So, you're doing something right. But and I hear what you're saying about community and showing them a better way. So when you see things like, say, the military schools, or this is called boot camp, but do you think being hard on them is the answer?
Look, I think, this boot camp rhetoric is obviously quite a politically motivated policy, and it definitely fits for many that just want they've had enough, and that's businesses and victims, and and we really sort of try to address the victim side we've created like our Effects of Crime program, and part of that is about trying to make our children and young people understand what they're doing, and so you have to have a understanding of where they're cognitively at, in terms of actually if that's actually something they can recognise straight off, or if it actually over time and repetitively working with them is going to help them understand that that's not something they should be doing. So I think, look, the reason we are successful is because we